at least you have to see more than the tip of my hair. Okay. Yes, I've been asked to do two things today, to give an introduction of who I am. Dan just helped me with it a little bit, just to complement that, and to give an introduction on the Mexican background, and that could be helpful for understanding why this work is important. So, on a little bit of myself, complementing what Dan just said. I'll say just three brief things. One, I'll explain to you how to pronounce my last name, if everybody has difficulty with this. And my wife said, well, just so nobody asks me, just tell them how to pronounce your name. So I'll in grace of my wife, I'll show you how to do that. Second, how I grew up in the Reformed faith in Mexico, and also how I came to know the PRC church in the US. Well, the first thing is, you can say Bartolon. It's not correct then, but it's okay. Also, when people say Bartolon, it's still wrong. But you can say it the Mexican way, it's Bartolon, kind of more punch to it, Bartolon. But yeah, either way, yeah. I feel myself, you know, I've been chopping every Dutch name here, so don't feel guilty that you're chopping mine. You know, I'm similar to English, I'm still working on accents and all this, so yeah. Thank you for being patient with me. I'll be patient with you too then. Okay. Second, yes, I was, by the grace of God, I was brought up in the Reformed faith of Mexico. My parents were Presbyterians, my grandparents were Presbyterians, and that's how God allowed me to know the Reformed faith. And when coming to the U.S., my family passed through a season of, you know, walking on dry land. And God used that time to bring us to the faithful preaching of Reverend Rodney Klein in Spokane, Washington, in Covenant of Grace. And under his preaching, a year of debating and training with that, as Dan said, I studied Christian philosophy in Mexico, and it was influenced by the common grace thinking. So that was one of the battles I had with Reverend Klein, and he was patient enough, and he walked me through it. So I got to know the Reformed faith, and for that I'm thankful. And now to the second point, the general background that I will do is just a quick insight on the history of Mexico. And I will also talk about the religious aspects in Mexico, a little bit of politics, a little bit of the safety concerns in Mexico. Don't take me like about an hour, so that's it. I can take as long as I want. No, I'll try to be brief. First, quick facts. This is for children that are maybe going to high school, that might be interesting to you. We are pre-Hispanically, I mean, before the Spaniards came to the US, we were primarily Mayans and Aztecs at that time, but there were other civilizations before. But at that time, we were chopping heads and cutting people in half, like you have no idea. When the dedication of the temple in Mexico, there is an old temple built by the Aztecs. It's called the Temple Mayor. I think Professor and Reverend Gris went over. In that dedication, the Aztecs managed to capture 4,000 people. They had a feast for 4 days in honor of that dedication, and then sacrificed in those 4 days 4,000 people. 1,000 people every day. They said that they have a bunch of priests around, and they were just on it for a long time. Some historians said they sacrifice around 200,000 people a year. Some others say, well, no, it's actually 450,000 a year. The number is not accurate, but that's more than what the drug dealing is doing right now in Mexico. So thank God for the Spaniards. In 1519, with Cortez, they enslaved Mexico. They did atrocities in Mexico, but we were no better than anybody else around. Actually, we were really poor. So I really think it was God's providence that He brought the Spaniards as punishment for what the Aztecs were doing for a long time, and all other cultures. And in the whole Americas, we were pagans, and worshiping the moon and the sun and everything. So we were ruled by the Spaniards by 300 years. In 1810, finally got its independence. It was an independence primarily from the middle class. They were the people who came from Spain to Mexico, had children, and those children were had children with Mexican women. So they were Creole people, so they were mixed people. So they were the uncomfortable ones. They wanted the recognition, so they used the church. They were Catholic priests who led that independence, Morelos and Hidalgo. So, they fought against the U.S. I think you have to thank the guy who invented the Colt, or the other revolver, because we were using cannons and everything left by the Spaniards in Mexico, buying cheap stuff from France or the leftovers from them. So we couldn't match the artillery the U.S. had. And yeah, we won that one. So I don't have to say anything else about it. Then we fought against France. We defeated those guys. So we were proud of it. But actually we didn't defeat them. They were retreating because Napoleon III, Maximilian, didn't have enough support from Europe, primarily England, so they retreated, and then we said we won. But children, if they ask about May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, you can tell your professor, yes, in Cinco de Mayo, the Mexicans fought the Cake War. That's how it's known. I think your professor will be puzzled about it, but you say, yeah, it's nothing about the US or Mexico, it's just Cinco de Mayo, the Mexicans fought the Cake War. Go online and find about it. Okay, now Presbyterians, that's something that happened, in the midst of war, in the midst of back and forth here and there. The Presbyterians started to coming down to Mexico, and there were several people that went down and started bringing the gospel. Melinda Rankin was one of the most known people there. And they sent many missionaries, and until in May 21, 1883, we already had a first organized Presbyterian church and a presbytery there down in Mexico. Then the revolution came, and the Cincinnati Treaty came, and it was just chaotic in that sense. Now, this is modern day Mexico, still Catholic majority, 82.9% Catholic. So about 135 million people in Mexico are Catholic. The graph at the top says that that's the percentage of Catholic people now living in Mexico. It's 82%. It's going down, so Protestantism is going up a little bit, but most of it is fueled by Pentecostalism and all the other churches of that kind. Protestantism is growing, now 7.9%. The difference that doesn't match there is people that didn't answer the polls or atheist people. So that's what we have in Mexico. But in the midst of that, there's still faithful churches. There's still people that God has maintained there. And of the groups that we visited the National Presbyterian Church and the Independent Presbyterian Church. The National Presbyterian Church has over 2 million people, 2 million Presbyterians. That's their own statistics. About 6,000 church buildings, 74 presbyteries, 16 synods. And curious, just a note there, they only have 1,500 pastors. How can 1,500 pastors minister 6,000 churches? You can see there's a lack of doctrine, there's a lack of disconnect, there's The National Presbyterian Church goes from reform in one wing to completely liberal on the other wing, and there's people immersed in trying to change the National Presbyterian Church into reformational doctrine. There's that wing that is really pushing hard in Mexico, and there's the other, the liberal wing trying to push for women in office, and there's some other thing going on within the National Presbyterian Church. The Independent Presbyterian Church, which broke up, which was pretty much established by the PRC back in the 1940s. We visit that churches. That church is smaller, only 5 presbyteries, 1 synod, about 3 churches. It's a more organized church, but still, they still lack some resources and primarily pastors. Although they require the pastors to have theological training to become pastors, they still permit because of the lack of people and the number of churches. And these are the main 3, the red black points you see there. Those are the main 3 places where we were. Down in Mexico City, so that's Mexico City. And there we were in the national, we visited 1 week, we stayed there in the Juan Calvino University. It's a seminary, it's a small seminary, but they've been influenced by the CRC, so they call themselves university. And then we were another week in Lluvias de Gracia, and we visited the seminary of the National Presbyterian Church here. So that's the main locations where we stayed. Politics, it's boring, it's same as in the US. The bad and the worse, it's the same. And for 70 years we were in the kind of the right wing, the Conservative Party. 70 years, it was 70 years of corruption. It was this political party, PRI. So they ruled for 70 years. After the revolution, those guys stayed there for 70 years. Then came this political party. With these guys, the drug really exploded. They tried to control the drug dealing by capturing the heads of the cartels. That made the big cartels fraction. Now you had, they captured the big guys, and now there were 10 guys under those guys that fraction the big cartels, and it's just a war of territories and places and all that. So it happened under these guys, and when they took power, it was the explosion of these guys. They were friends with them, so nothing better. And now comes these guys. He's from the left, socialist, and yeah, I don't know what to expect from that guy, but he's socialist. So we'll see. And now I think safety concerns. Yeah, it's still unsafe if the mines, I say they were calling 200,000 a year. The drug cartels this is the average people that dies per year in 100,000 people. 22,000 disappeared since 2006. President Bartolon, he was the Catholic party as well. So yes, it's dangerous in Mexico. It's bad, but only if you are part of a gang, if you are in the cartels, or if you're not doing good things. For sure, you're more exposed to it. Normal people, it's just collateral damage, and I think it was more dangerous to live back with the Aztecs than to live nowadays there. I don't know. Yeah. So over 100,000 people, yes. But when we were there, I don't know, maybe the pastor, Reverend Grace and Rosh Camilo will give you that feeling of safety. But again, if you are doing normal things, if you are doing your way, and you're not messing up with the wrong people, you're fine. They won't even get you. So why Mexico is so corrupt? There are many theories. These 3 are the things that are kind of more prominent. The informal economy, Reverend Klein supporting the informal economy there. That was my fault. I didn't tell him that. Yeah, that what he was doing was. There is pretty much an illegal shop. I'll say that illegal shop because it's not registered with the government. You don't pay taxes for it. You don't do anything. Every single corner, I think, was coming and remember so many of them. They don't pay taxes. They don't do anything. So actually, this guy might have been involved with the police. Because the police is supposed to kick those guys out. They're selling all the stuff. But maybe this guy gives, you know, a small share to the police, so the police let him sell and sell those belts to everybody there. So there's that informal economy, and you'll see that all around Mexico. What that creates, there's no money from Mexico. The government doesn't get taxes, the government doesn't do that. So why did the government have so bad tax laws, and why they don't care about it? Maybe some of you are familiar with it. If not, just Google it. That means you're putting eggs in one basket than in another basket. So back in the 50s, I think the Dutch found gas in the Netherlands, and they said, well, we're rich now, so they went over gas and oil and got crazy about it, that they forgot all other aspects of their economy. That's called the Dutch disease. You're familiar with it. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, that's what they said. But we did. So we were very rich in oil back in the days. Right now our oil is scarce. And for so many years, the government that was the party that was in government for 70 years didn't care about creating good tax laws, a good system to bring that money from that informal economy to they say, oh, we have too much money from oil. Now we're suffering the consequences. Well, the US is suffering the consequences because the lack of oil and drugs and all that is bringing people to the US to get money. This last year broke the record. Over $26,000 million were sent down to Mexico from people working here, legally or illegally. So now the US money sent to Mexico is, I think, the second or the third source of revenue for the people. So it's a lot of money. And the third, guns go down, drugs come up, and that's the cycle that's hitting California and all the states there. The US have a lot of technology, they have guns, so they have to sell them. The cartels are a good place to sell them. The cartels in Mexico even have weapons and that even the police doesn't have, and they get it from the US, so thank you for the guns. And yeah, it is unsafe, yes. But I guess not to the point that you cannot live. You need to be careful, you need to be to watch what you do, but not in the sense that you need to be really scared to go down there. Well, I don't know how Professor Kamiga what will be his opinion, but that's not your turn. I'm done.